Hey everyone. So some of you are struggling with moving on things or getting motivated to do things that are going to benefit you, and you're just having trouble building up steam. And you're not alone. That's totally okay. We all have to deal with that. So I want to talk about motivation for a bit. If motivation was, if it came easily before you had to do a task, then none of us would be procrastinating or avoiding things. It would be easy just to go do them. That's not the case. Most of us right now are procrastinating on something that we know we should be doing, all because there just isn't enough motivation to get us moving on it. Okay? The thing with motivation is that it doesn't tend to show up until the last possible moment. Okay? When we're most uncomfortable with the thought of what the consequences will be if we don't do the task. So think about it. If you were assigned homework or a project from work that was due in a week, okay? When you're assigned it, there's not a whole lot of motivation at that point because you're not uncomfortable. But bring it up to the night before or maybe the hour before it's due, then you're motivated to take action on it, okay? Because you're uncomfortable at that point. Same thing goes with our health. Say something doesn't feel quite right with your health, and maybe you should have it go checked out, but it's not affecting your day to day, so there's not a whole lot of motivation. It's not until our symptoms get worse and we're uncomfortable that we tend to go and take action on it, okay? And a lot of times the problem with this way of doing motivation is that if you're waiting until the last possible moment, you're probably causing damage or consequences in your life that didn't need to happen, okay? Also with the motivation, if someone tries to force motivate you to do something, let's just be honest. If anyone tries to force you to do something that you don't want to do, you tend to have a negative reaction, okay? And that's not a direction we want to go to either. So waiting for motivation for motivation to happen, which doesn't happen until the last possible moment usually, or having people force motivate you to do things are not successful strategies in my opinion, okay? I would suggest instead of motivation that we look at building momentum, okay? So building momentum, let's look at it this way. When you choose motivation, people are forcing you to look at the task you don't want to do and stay focused on a task you don't want to do until it's completed. That is an absolute stress mess. We do not want to do that. That is just going to stress you out from the beginning to the end of the whole entire task, and it doesn't do well, okay? Instead, I suggest go around and find all the tasks, those easy small tasks that are around the thing that you want to accomplish. Do all those little tasks that move in that same direction. Picture it, think of it as kicking a small pebble down a hill, okay? Eventually, everything's going to start moving that direction, okay? Especially if you just keep kicking those small pebbles down that hill, it will all start moving that way, okay? That's what we want. We want to have that momentum moving us going that direction. And what's happening is when you're completing all those small tasks and you get momentum going in a certain direction, your brain is losing its ability to come up with excuses not to do the task you're avoiding. That's a good thing because then it just makes it easier to do it. Because your brain just like, well, everything's moving that direction. That just makes sense that you're going to do that too, so let's go, okay? That's what we want, momentum. Momentum is far more powerful than motivation, in my opinion, okay? So you say, this all sounds good on paper, sounds good in a video. How does it apply to actual real-life application? And that's what's important to us at Rangers Ridge. You got to be able to actually apply it to your life and get some results out of it. So I'll give you an example of one that I did with this. I was down in Uwharrie National Forest doing a Master Navigator course for training. And after a couple days of running routes, I was not in great condition, okay? My back and my legs ached terribly. My feet were beat up. I was tired. I was exhausted beyond pretty much anything else that I've done. And on top of that, within 30 minutes, we had to be ready to go again, okay? So in this case, if I chose motivation, I would just sat there in the pain and the exhaustion, waiting for motivation to appear, okay? And I'll tell you right now, in the condition that I was in, I would have sat right there doing nothing right up to the last possible second before I made a move on anything. And that's not good, because I would have not prepared to go on this next run, which would have made it harder for me, which is usually what happens when you wait till the last minute. It makes the task harder. The other thing is the reason that we move at the last possible moment is to stop discomfort, okay? Now, there is another solution to stop discomfort on these things. Unfortunately, it's one a lot of people choose, and that is quitting, okay? If I chose to go the route of momentum on this, then I would have set myself up in a situation where I would have risked quitting instead of going out on that route. Okay, so that's not a thing that we want to do. So instead, fortunately, I chose momentum, and this is how I did that. I started out by doing a today moment, where here at Rangers Ridge is something we teach to manage your basic needs. Okay, and each one of the items in that today moment was a small pebble that I was kicking down the hill. Okay. I started out by just controlling my thoughts and saying, I'm not going to die. It'll be all right, okay? I swapped out some of my clothes to manage my core temperature, drank some water, ate a snack out of my pack, adjusted my footwear and my pack so that it felt right and that there was no discomfort in going, rechecked the routes on the paper. Every single one of those was an easy task. That they weren't hard at all, okay? I was not focused on the pain of going out on a route. I was focused on every single one of those small tasks. And what I found is that this built up so much momentum, I found myself standing at the starting post all ready to go. All I had to do was take a simple step forward, and I was on my way, okay? Real simple, okay? My partner, navigation partner, Chad Henry, and I not only completed that course, but we actually ended up winning Master Navigator Top Team for the whole entire course, okay? Which would not have happened had I chose motivation to be the thing that pushed me forward, okay? That's important. The results follow the momentum, okay? Motivation lots of times end up in either quitting or being upset or stressing out and not doing well, okay? So I hope this helps. I hope this is something you can practically apply to your life and get some results for yourself. If you're interested in the teaching that we have at Rangers Ridge or the Today I Will lifestyle, please like and subscribe to this channel and check us out at rangersridge.com. Thank you very much.